Round one, fight!
Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Uh-oh, Richard.
You win!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
And I'm your boy, the big, the bad, the booty daddy.
Hey,
And
Kayla,
I am your girl, Hollywood K.
Kayla, did you like the Street Fighter version? Did you check it out?
I'm not going to talk about that. I told you, I think I saw something similar to that.
Oh, you talking about this? I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me share the screen real quick.
Them shit's been going around the internet since it happened.
Oh, this is hilarious. I gotta watch it again. Hold on a second.
It was funny.
Oh, it was very funny.
Carl Anthony Towns got 4 fouls already, bro.
All right, here we go. It's the funniest thing ever.
Oscar fighter too.
Oh my lord.
It was the funniest thing ever. Yo.
What did I just witness?
Oh, that was some great editing. That's what you see.
Greatness. Witness greatness.
It's called somebody had way too much time on their hands.
A lot of time. And I'm glad they utilized it well.
Yes.
Yo, can we just get that match at WrestleMania 39?
That ain't gonna happen. We hope for it. Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream. If you guys are joining us live on Facebook, drop a comment in the comment section below. If you guys are watching us live on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section below. We are going to talk about Monday Night Raw and NXT, which I missed, unfortunately. But you guys can fill me in on the good stuff.
I caught the end.
You said towards the end?
Yeah, I caught the last hour.
Yeah, I caught the last 14 minutes of it. I mean, I was trolling on Twitter, so I know Natalya showed up, which doesn't surprise me. But yeah, she showed up, she slapped Cora Jade in the face, whatever.
But, you talking about Natalya?
Yeah, Natalya.
She pulled the Mark Henry. They thought she was gonna retire. She pulled a Mark Henry.
On NXT?
Yeah, she showed up on NXT and basically
that's when she first started.
Yeah, she told Cora Jade she's the future of the women's division, but the future is bleak, and smacked her right across the face.
Okay.
And then put her in the sharpshooter, and yeah, Cora was tapping like a little baby.
Would you show up on NXT to announce your retirement? Or
Probably not.
Your somewhat like retirement? That's weird.
No.
Yeah. She just gave an emotional speech.
Yeah, she started crying, doing the sad little waterworks, and that was the end of that. It was nothing fancy.
So what else happened? Anything with Dolph Ziggler?
Nah, no.
Nothing with Dolph Ziggler.
New tag champs.
Yeah, new tag champs, which
Let
I
me
Let me guess. Imperium.
nope,
I mean, not
Nope.
Imperium. I'm sorry. Diamond in Mine.
nope,
Who?
pretty
Pretty
deadly.
deadly.
For the men's titles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the vacant tag titles.
They're men.
They
They
came
just
out
got-
dressing like I want to
Women.
say a
Women.
old school but newer version of like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty with like a top that like was cut off like up to here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I never heard of them. Pretty
They're
deadly.
from UK.
They were on the UK. They were on NXT UK. They just they got called over to NXT here in the States. So because I think they're slowly, from what I've been hearing, they're slowly doing away with the UK brand.
Yeah, they bringing somebody else over too. I forgot his name. Damn, he was good.
Must not be important.
Nah, he was important. I just forgot his damn name.
That's what I'm saying. He must not be important because you forgot his damn name.
I figured a lot of people's names, man.
Well, maybe if you weren't on Space Mountain so much.
you giving women trips to Space Mountain? Booty
or
daddy?
Or telling them to come through the basement.
Giving them trips to Space Mountain.
Piper's Pit, you know.
Oh man. Piper's Pit.
I'm sorry, I really wish you had Twitter because that night, if you would have been in my space, you would have died laughing. It was hilarious.
I see y'all in a group. I can't talk usually most of the time because I'm always busy doing something. But I go in there. I go in a group sometimes and I chat. You know what I'm saying? But I seen you going back. You was talking to Sean about
Yeah.
ants invitations to Space Mountain.
And then, because he told this girl because he forgot to mute himself while he was in my space. He forgot to mute himself, and he was talking about, I think it was either mine or Double K space, one of the two. And he forgot to mute himself, and so we're hearing this side conversation, and he's like, "Save my phone number under Space Mountain." He had the whole room just dying.
I love it. I love it.
Oh.
I love it, Aunt. I love it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I showed my wife that video of Space Mountain. I'm a troller. Like if you know that I like you when I troll you. So I don't do it to. I like to make I mean, because Aunt, we from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we do. Like when you like somebody, you troll the hell out of them. That's you get a dozen with them. People you really like in New York, you really just troll the hell out of them. It's not because you don't like them, because you like them, and you just like it's a term. It's a way of endearment in New York. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So my wife.
It's a West Coast thing too. It's a West Coast thing. There's times I'm trolling on people's shit.
Yeah. So my wife I was like trolling. I was like, yeah, we about to take a trip to Space Mountain. I'm about to take you to Space Mountain. And I troll the hell out of her. You know what I'm saying? But I love it, Aunt.
I'm not ever gonna let Aunt live that shit down.
Oh, Aunt, don't ever live it down. Ever. Just like the big bad booty daddy.
I'm surprised he didn't tell old girl to save that under his phone number.
Oh no, it's too soon. Too soon. Aunt know when to drop it. He knows exactly when to drop it. He gonna do it, but he ain't gonna. He you gotta let him ease it in. He be like, yeah. As soon as they get comfortable, he be like, yeah. Okay, so next time when you call my line, you know to call the big bad booty.
Next time when you call my line, ask for the big bad booty daddy.
Right, exactly. Ask for the big bad booty daddy. J McMain. So glad you could join us.
Chris Breezy in the building.
Chris Brown. He got the Chris Brown sweater on. He got the Chris Brown hat on. What's going on?
Not letting that go, Mac. I'm just letting you know right now.
I see.
So guys, let's get into it. Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it was good, yo.
Fire promo between Cody and The Miz. That was fire.
Yo, that's 2 times I said Raw was good, so you know it was good.
Yeah.
2 times. Yeah, it was good. No, it was really good. I was really happy. I think Cody's the future.
What caught me off guard, what caught me off guard was I thought that Cody and Cody and Miz was gonna main event. When I saw in the middle of the card, I'm like, So what's the main event? Like they have nothing else advertised. And then
word.
I saw Arcade Pro against Alpha Academy. I'm like, this can't be the main event.
There was a lot of quick like changes done within like 20 minutes before Raw went on the air because the tag match that the women's tag match was supposed to have happened, but Rhea Ripley, I guess, is under COVID protocols right now.
Yeah, that's why they pushed it to next week.
Yeah, and then Ray was supposed to face Veer, but he has some medical issue or whatever.
And now Dominic's in the bed right now.
I know. I saw everybody in the Twitter space last night was like all checking on me.
Yes, thank you, Jay. Thank you very much. Did you guys witness Dominic Mysterio get murdered on Raw?
Yeah. That was his initiation.
I'll tell you this much.
That's
in
his
initiation
to the 24/7 title chapter. You're gonna see him next.
No.
Oh my
God. I think what's going to happen when he comes back, because usually they do the stretcher angle for one or two reasons, either a injury or they're repackaging. And I saw something, don't know how true it is, but it looks to be true because a lot of the ones that like people were saying are going heel or face has happened, like Damian Priest, soon to be Rhea Ripley, Ciampa, yada blah. Dominic's on that list to go heel.
Oh God!
So I'm thinking
if Dominic goes heel,
he'll be the weakest heel ever.
It can't get no worse than that. You might as well let him chase
either that or they
title.
might. I mean, people might get what they want, and he'll go to NXT for a bit.
Yeah, he needs to go to NXT.
He does.
But
I'll admit.
But the whole time I was watching, Dominic get his soul snatched out of his body, I couldn't help but think about you, Kayla. I was saying, it's not like I'm like Kayla's not feeling this right now.
No, I'll tell you
she
for
was
a
not
fact
feeling that last night
in the Twitter space because it was in there. Literally, like Double K had been because everybody's stream was a little bit further than everybody else's, and so Double K was like, "Well, Kayla, I hate to say it, but Ray did your boy dirty." And I hadn't even seen it yet. And then I saw it. And literally, like, right after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to sleep now. I was like, thanks. You give me this injury a week before my birthday. Thanks.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, right?
When's your birthday?
Your birthday present.
What day is your birthday?
The 18th. So next
18th?
Monday.
Oh, yeah, Aries.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, turn up.
My brother's Aries. Jay's Aries.
Oh, look, now you can see Ray get murdered on your birthday.
Hey, you know what? I'm skipping out on Raw on my birthday. I'm good.
Oh no, I ain't gonna skip that. I'm not gonna skip it. I was watching the match. As a matter of fact, I didn't watch the whole match actually. I was, again, me. I'm fast forward. So I'm fast forward. I'm like, all right, the guy Veer, he comes up. He's doing his thing. And then I'm just like, is that Rey Mysterio? Is that Dominic in the camel clutch? And then I'm still fast forward. And I'm like, is he still in the camel clutch?
Son of a bitch. God, Veer put him in that thing like
I didn't skip like 20 frames. I skipped like 20 frames. He was still in it.
He was pulling on that thing. Too,
the second time, fine, but that third time was a little excessive.
Yeah, it was very excessive.
I didn't see a clutch like that since Sabu was doing a clutch like that.
Clutch was vicious though. Scott, the big bad booty daddy, he is Scott Steiner. Because he was the dude. He was like, he was the one that was like, I think like
that Steiner recliner, yo.
The Steiner recliner.
Yeah.
He was the one that was really doing it on the WCW. He was going in on that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a more vicious move than Miro doing his whatever, and literally like he improved it at the times when we saw him on AEW where he'd crank it back and literally would just like lay back and just crank that move that he would put him in.
Right. That's what I forgot to mention. That's what I was trying to mention as well. But I thought about Steiner. I thought about Steiner while I was thinking about Miro. He did the camel clutch to what's that dude named Kalisto?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he put him and he brought it all the way back. And I was like, you trying to oh man.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes. cuts an excellent promo against the Miz. The way they started off Raw was very, 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 very good.
45 minutes of pyro.
Yeah.
He got mad pyro.
He did.
It was good. He did get a lot of pyro.
I'm like, yo, when does it stop, bro?
I know. I was sitting here looking at it, and I'm like, okay, is the pyro done? Are we over with it yet?
But I definitely enjoyed their whatchamacallit, their segment though. That was really good. I think Cody's the future.
Oh, he definitely is. I mean, it was funny watching the Miz correct him when he was like, he was going after the undisputed Universal Championship, and Miz was like, it's a title. A belt is something you wear.
Right.
And then like corrected him on the whole wrestlers, it's superstars, and he's just like, whatever.
All right, so my bad, y'all. So first off, Cody's intro with the pyro reminds me of my 2K20.
Oh wait, hold on.
You like the pyro?
Hold on, Jay. Was that before or after the glitches in 2K20?
Before, because every time I make a character, I go to and that's why I was so upset that the 2K22 don't have the advanced create a character, because my character has pyro before he comes out. When he comes out, he stands on there. I have pyro. As he coming down the ring, I got
Jesus.
When he gets to the ring.
Well, now we
July, Jay.
No, now we know where all the budget cut money's gone to.
Huh?
I said, now we know where all the Vince McMahon budget cuts went to. Cody Rhodes is pyro.
And trust me, it's more coming. He's like, yeah, it cost me a lot.
Oh, I know Friday. I know Friday's quickly approaching.
Right. Also, it's Friday. It's gonna be Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be Friday.
Okay.
Apparently, it's supposed to be the 15th. Is they're gonna do their I guess early to late spring cleaning.
For what?
See Cody's pyro on there.
You talking about the releases? What? Wait, hold on. What was that?
It's gonna say Cody's pyro. I was gonna say the
it's part of the budget.
In finance, it's gonna be budget, superstars, entertainers, Cody's pyro, executives.
Rey Mysterio's hospital bill.
Right.
The Viking Raiders is out of there, bro.
Yeah, I think they're probably.
They're supposed, from the rumors I've heard, they might go heel.
And Robert Roode
they're not coming back. I think them and Robert Roode is gone.
Yeah, Robert Roode is losing to Dominic clean.
Wait. Wait, hold up. Did he lost to Dominic when?
Yes.
When they had
a couple weeks ago.
When they had because they was building towards, I forgot what match. Oh, matter of fact, they was building towards the match with the Mysterios versus the Miz and
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, right. So remember when Dominic beat him, that's when Dolph super kicked Dominic, and then Ray started chasing Ray, and that's when Miz pushed him into the stairs, took his mask off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
I'll be surprised if Rude doesn't get cut, but I know for sure the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, because they're not doing that. But if you think about it, they're not really doing that with the Dirty Dog. Everything is Dolph now. So
yeah.
I wouldn't. I caught myself because I was about to say as it should be, but that's not correct. It should. They really should just separate them. I mean, I like them as a group. I do like them together. I like Bobby Roode. I love both of them. Bobby Roode should have gotten another like singles title run. I don't understand this. Like when he came up from NXT, like he already had a great character. I don't understand this. Like it made no sense to me.
You want to know why it doesn't make sense to you? And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because certain people from TNA, Impact, whatever you want to call it, minus the exception of AJ Styles, are not Vince's favorites.
And honestly, AJ was supposed to get his name changed, but AJ said no, it doesn't make sense but AJ definitely was. But
they go ahead and change Austin Theory's name to just Theory.
Vince doesn't like two names. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. But for some reason, he don't like two names.
Unless you're Shawn Michaels.
Or Triple H.
Or Triple H, right. Triple H has three names. He doesn't have one. He has three names.
Or Stephanie McMahon.
Right, Stephanie McMahon or McMahon, right? So I hope they really get. I mean, the Viking Raiders are cool. I mean, they're all right. I just think
Yeah,
they need to
and
be repackaged. I don't like the Viking Raiders character at all. I think it's corny. It's cartoony. Then they come out and do the little heave ho
yeah,
thing they were
The
doing.
Viking Raiders character was messed up ever since they
I
did the whole comic relief thing with the Street Profits. Once they was doing that,
Yeah,
they
it was
recovered.
over.
I
Yeah.
wish
Right,
they would have
didn't-
just left the
Right.
Viking Raiders the way they were in NXT and let them keep that name because they were a dominant force in NXT. But I've said this before. Anytime you get called up from NXT, except for a few exceptions, 85% of the time you're going to get buried.
Yeah, because Vince McMahon, I think Vince McMahon really does not. He doesn't want to understand. This is the thing, right? Vince does not want to understand. Triple H is creative. He doesn't want to understand it. But this is what I really feel like it's happening. I think Vince is jealous of Triple H. Vince is kind of envious because of the simple fact that I don't think he really thought that Triple H going down to NXT and developing the superstars would be as great as he thought it would be.
But hold on, you can't
fact
just say Triple H though, because Shawn Michaels had a hand in some of those NXT people too.
He did. But in this case, I'm going to say Triple H. I'm going to tell you why. Because the reason being, the reason I'm going to say Triple H is because Shawn Michaels always gets a whole lot of credit for stuff that he shouldn't get credit for. So right now, I'm going to say Triple H. Okay, I have to. I'm sorry.
True.
You're right. Got to give him his love.
You're
right.
I have a quick story to go to your theory, Caleb. So.
Wait, hold on. Just hold that, Jay. Real quick. But the reason why I'm saying Triple H, right? Reason being is because I feel like he's not getting the credit he is getting the credit now. People give him the credit and give him the level of respect. I mean, and it's Triple H, it's William Regal, it's Shawn, it's all those guys, right? But Triple H was the guy who was, primarily over the brand. But is that I feel like Vince is jealous because he thinks, or in his mind, he didn't think that Triple H could do what he did, and he was able, and not him, but the people that were there were able to do what they did, and they did it. And not only did they do it, but they did it to a degree where fans were watching more towards NXT, were drawn more towards NXT than they was toward the WWE brand, and now it's to a point where the black and gold is literally like an era, like it's an era, it's a classic era now, like. In a time where WWE was not living up to a standard, the developmental brand gave you better matches.
True.
So I think that Vince had to sit there and input his creative. He had to come down there and feel like he needed to shake things up and do all this extra stuff. And it's like when everybody comes up from the main roster now, because notice if you look back at it, right, everybody that came up prior to Triple H, prior to Shawn, Triple H, and William Regal. Let me just say, prior to NXT getting the notoriety that it was getting at that era, everybody that was getting called up prior were getting decent pushes. But
except for Karrion Kross.
It depends.
No. I'm talking about. I remember when the Shield got called up, they got a decent push. When Paige got called up, she got a push. Charlotte, Becky Lynn.
But when the Shield got called up, it wasn't really the black and gold brand then.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if Triple H charged then, because they had just went from I guess there wasn't really a brand yet. They were just like OVW or FCW. You know what I'm saying? It was more that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? At that time when the Shield came up, now. When Paige came up, and then Becky and now when Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte came up, that's when it was the black and gold brand. But prior to them, it was still like kind of like an influx of, all right, are we a FCW kind of training organization, or is it just a brand? So it was kind of a mix. But after that, when Gargano and Ciampa started kind of like really. I'm saying finally this, that's when the black and gold brand really started kicking off.
Yeah.
But Triple H was involved during that time. He was
involved. He had parts of it, but after when the women got called, actually around that time, because Stephanie was the reason why the women got called up. But but that's when after them, that's when Triple H fully. That's when it was acknowledged that Triple H was in charge of the Black and Gold brand, and we see what happened. Even Pat McAfee, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't for Triple H saying, "All right, Pat, let's do this." Pat McAfee probably won't be in WWE right now because Vince wouldn't have said, "All right, well let's see what this guy has." Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So Triple H was the one that okay, let me bring in Pat. Let me have him, commentate and have him go back and forth with Adam Cole and have a match. And Vince saw it, he was like, "Oh, okay, this guy's pretty good, and he's kind of funny." You know what I'm saying? So Triple H kind of kickstarted that. And like I said, when he had retired, everybody, was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah,
you know but when he headlines the Hall of Fame next year, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
So, but I just want to, So right. But exactly what you're saying, Jay. But I just want to end it off because I just want to end my point. So exactly what you're saying, but again, like when all those guys, like when Triple H was involved, or even prior to when Triple H was like had full creative control or had that full management, right? Prior to everybody that got called up got a decent push. My point is really this: is that everybody that got called up got a decent push. It was not until the brand started getting like this real big recognition that all of a sudden, like everybody that got called up afterward, like started getting pushed to the side all of a sudden. Right, EC3. That's my point. My point is that it was like once the brand started getting this big level of recognition, all of a sudden it was like now people that were being called up or people that were called up around like a little bit after, it was almost like they were being pushed to the back of the line. Like even Samoa Joe was like at one point getting like a push, and then all of a sudden it was like it just deflated. Then it was like Bobby Roode got somewhere, and then it was just like it started deflating. I'm just like, yo, bro.
Yeah, when he entered the main roster, he was on a rocket. You know, so they gave him the
right, 100%.
And he was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the fans was behind him, but then Vince kind of like I guess it kind of fizzled out. I don't know. But now to Kayla's point, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. So we all here watch NXT and the main roster, and some of us watch AEW. So I have a coworker who only watches AEW, Raw, and SmackDown. He hates NXT. He doesn't watch not one NXT. When I try to show it to him, he'd be like, "Oh, I can't watch this. This is low budget." So I asked him today. I said, so then they kind of made me mad. I said, "Yo, so you watch SmackDown?" So I said, "Okay, what do you think about Gunther?" He was like, "Oh, Gunther's good. I like Gunther." I said, "Okay, what about Butch?" He said, "Oh, Butch sucks." I said, "What?"
I mean,
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
To that extent, the Butch that we have right now kind of sucks. I want him to go back to the bruiserweight. Like I want him to turn on Shane.
I would have to disagree with that. Did you guys see that Xavier Woods and Butch match on SmackDown?
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was still Pete Dunne. Like it was a good match. It was
still. Yeah, I'll agree. I'll take back what I said.
They let him bring his moveset. So here's my problem. You let Ridge Holland keep his name. You let Austin Theory keep his name. You let
to turn around and change it.
Keep their name, but yet I feel like Pete Dunne has a way bigger following than Ridge Holland. Mm-hmm. He's accomplished way more than Ridge Holland. You know what I'm saying? He's way better than Austin Theory, but yet you change his name and you kind of like. And that's what I told my coworker. I said with Butch, they kind of like put a lid on what he can do. So it kind of like they gave you those samples, like, all right, well, do that. Now do that, but don't do that. Do that. But don't do that. So it's like you didn't really get to see the full Butch, and I knew that was gonna happen because of the way New Day got squashed at Mania. So I knew that was gonna happen. But let me say Butch sucked. I said, you know what? I'm gonna send you some matches, and I want you to watch these matches, and then we got this conversation again tomorrow.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I'm still laughing at what Xavier's calling his small package roll up now. Now it's called Backwoods.
So that's supposed to be like his new finisher. That's what the Backwoods is.
Yes.
Oh God,
it's his new finisher.
Funny when Xavier came out, he said, "Yeah, I went to the gym and I bruised the weights," and I was like,
"Yeah, that was funny." Yeah, that was funny.
Yo, did y'all catch when the Miz mocked Cody Rhodes, but he mocked his lisp?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, he's like, he said, what did he say? He said,
but I thought that was more of a shot of because because Dusty Rose had a little lisp too, so he had a little country lisp accent too. So I thought he was mocking Dusty when he said baby or some shit like that.
Even more disrespectful.
Yeah, I laughed at Miz trying to make that comment because they were in Detroit and he said something about your opinions don't matter. You like the Lions. And I was sitting here like, are you trying to pull what freaking? I'm sorry, I'm not calling that man Ezekiel. It is Elias.
That's Ezekiel.
Oh,
we saw the picture.
That's hilarious.
Together. That's
that picture. That I looked. I zoomed in on that picture. Tell you for a fact that picture was photoshopped.
So you think
not, man?
It's photoshopped. If you look at the top of the head of so-called Ezekiel's head, you can see really clear, like cutout lines. Like somebody tried to cut someone else out and put them in there, but they're still like not a blur, but like a small little background image or something. You can see it.
Yeah, you can see the pixels from another picture.
You can. There it is.
So you think
you can see the pixels.
So he's gonna pass the lie detector test on Monday?
Yes.
Dude, that lie detector test is being hosted by Jerry
Elias
Springer.
is gonna come out Monday. Elias is gonna come out Monday.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is hosting it, but literally, I feel like for that episode, I feel like I'm going to be watching an episode of Jerry Springer.
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna tell you what. What's so funny about Elias being Ezekiel is the fact that he comes out convinced that he is Ezekiel. That's what makes it funny. It's
like I hate liars. I'm lying.
Right. He's like, no, I'm Ezekiel. And it's like he's so convinced in his mind that he really is him. But that's what makes it funny to me. It's like the way he's doing it is just like this guy's hilarious.
What makes it even more funnier is if you check the Instagram that used to be Elias's, it says I'm not Elias, WWE or something like that. But it's like if you scroll through the feed, there's videos dating from 2021. So it's like, and we're talking like August, and it's like, okay, if you're so-called not Elias and you're pretending to be Ezekiel, your story's not really adding up.
Yeah. Yeah. But we all know who he really is. We all know.
It's Ezekiel, man.
Hey, no. I'll tell you right now, if they keep going with this, if he happens to pass the lie detector test, just let me finish. If he happens to pass the lie detector test on Monday, let that man come back to Seattle, see what happens. What happens.
That is Ezekiel. I agree with Ant.
It's Ezekiel, man. You're gonna see Elias and Ezekiel both on Monday. Watch.
They're gonna be the tag team, the first brother tag champs.
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't know what Ant is smoking, but whatever Ant's smoking, JJ smoking. Listen, all right. I'm gonna tell you what.
He's not a liar. He said he's not Elias. We have to believe him.
He's not Elias, man. You gotta believe him.
What this is what I want to talk about real quick before we move on to the next subject. I want to talk to Ant. I want to talk to the big bad booty, the big bad booty daddy. I need to talk to you, man. What is your feelings about Cody Rhodes right now? I gotta check it. I gotta check. What's going on, Ant?
What's my feelings about Cody?
Like right how do you feel about what's happening right now with Cody? Like, just as far as like his debut, him being there, how is it settling on you from him transitioning from AEW to WWE? Being that you were a person who was just like totally anti-Cody.
Yeah. I'm liking this version of Cody. Like, it's real good. I'm behind it. I'm liking it. I'm behind the baby face, the second baby face, I'm behind it. I'm really liking it. I like it. I'm liking his promos. I'm getting kind of like indie Cody vibes, though, like Bullet Club Cody vibe, but babyface Bullet Club Cody vibe. That's what a vibe that he's giving me. The babyface Bullet Club Cody was good. Then they used to have the Ring of Honor stadiums rocking when they was baby faces, even when they was heels. But this is the vibe that I'm getting. I'm getting Ring of Honor Cody before you turn heel, babyface. And I like it though. It's good. I want to see him become champion. I would like to see that. It's something different. So
did y'all watch Cody on the Bump?
No.
Okay. It it was a good interview. So so first off, when he came out, they played his music. They showed him coming rising up from wherever he came from. I'm like, all right, this camera angle is horrible. But anyway, so you know he was talking about a lot. He was talking about you know why he decided to go back to WWE. And he said he was kind of jealous of Seth because you know because the fact that in NXT Seth was one of Dusty's kids, you know, as far as NXT wise, but Cody was jealous because he was like, yo, like, I'm your actual kid, you know, and he said he lived in Florida at the time while NXT was in Florida. And he was like, why can't I go down there and compete with them to be one of Dusty's kids? So he said he had a lot of animosity towards, you know, Seth and all of, you know, even Gargano and, you know, a lot of people that Dusty called his kids or whatever. So he said he had a lot of, you know, jealousy towards that. But then he also said he told Brandy, like, because you know he was debuting at Mania, he said he had no idea how it was gonna go. He said because he said on one hand, you know, he felt, you know, the fans probably was gonna accept him, welcome back kind of thing, but then also he looked at it as like, yo, like I'm the enemy. You know, I created a competitive organization to compete against them, and now I'm back. He said, you know how the fans was going to react. He said, so, you know, he told Brandy like, yo, listen, I'm gonna let you know right now. If they go crazy and you know it doesn't go well, I need you to go straight to the bus and get out of here. You know, so.
And
You know,
it actually, not to cut you off, Jay, because I read something earlier where Cody wasn't also like wondering what the fans were going to think, but other superstars too. And like after WrestleMania, I think from the article I read, he like went to the men's locker room, saw Kofi, saw Woods, you know, went to the women's locker room, you know, didn't fully go in, but you know, whatever. Some of the women were coming out, and then he ran into Bianca, and he, you know, he was happy that he met Bianca and everything else, and you know, they chatted it up. There's actually a photo somewhere of them like backstage before. I think it was either before Cody was supposed to go on or something, but there's a photo of him and Bianca.
now,
So I think he was more trying to tread lightly because he knew the fans were gonna feel some type of way, but he wanted to know how, you know, because he realizes that the dynamics of the business he was in once before 6 years ago has changed drastically. And so he was trying to figure out how to handle the whole kind of something I'm learning in school, change management. Like he had to kind of dip his toes in and see who was going to rock with him and who just basically was like, well, I don't give an F that you're here. Go home.
I think it was after because during hold on, because before like they had him hidden.
Yeah, they had him hidden pretty
like,
good.
He was in the trailer the whole like because it's like a 3-minute documentary where they so he was backstage. You know, they had him hidden. They didn't want to talk to nobody, seeing nobody. And then you know before he even went on before his match, you know they were the guy. It's almost showtime, so they put him in. They had him. He had a hoodie on. They had him in a little car. They took him to you know the backstage area. So maybe around that time, that's probably he probably could talk. But yeah, prior to that, yeah, they had him so hidden. They like just like the Hardy Boys when the Hardy Boys. Like they didn't want nobody. They didn't want no pictures. They didn't want nothing to leak or anything like that.
No, and what I'll give Cody credit for is
hold on. Wait, one moment. We got to shout out the people. We got to recognize the people in the room. KB Brown says, "What's good, people?" It's good, KB. All right. Sorry,
but yeah, no, you're good. No, but the thing I liked about Cody, and I saw that documentary, Jay, that you're talking about, and he got ready before it was time for him to even go out. He was like, I don't want to, you know, have like a wardrobe malfunction or anything. He wanted to make sure things fit so that if he had to go get something, you know, re-seamed or fixed or altered, that, you know, he had enough time to go hit up the team and be like, hey, I need this fixed, I need that fixed. So I'll give Cody's work ethic, I agree with, because he got ready before it was even his time to even go out.
So it's funny. Another funny story. So I was watching the like the thing we were talking about at work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people at work don't watch wrestling. So every time I put on a big TV, they be like, "Oh, why are we watching wrestling?" So during the documentary, Cody's talking, so that they was watching and checking it out. So Cody's like, "I'm waiting for my wife." So everybody, again, they don't watch wrestling. So he's like, "Oh, here she goes." And when Brandy came out, it was like, "Wait, that's his wife?"
Yeah,
I didn't expect that. It was like I was looking for some older, fat, lady and whatever. But then when they saw Brandy, it was like, "Wow, that's his wife." And then like I said, Cody also was saying like when he left AEW, as Ant said, he was like the Cena of AEW because half the fans booed him, half cheered him, so he thought he was going to come back to that, but to come back to all cheers, he said he kind of liked it, but again, we knew it was something new. WWE needed some kind of shake up or something exciting, because right now we probably would be sitting complaining if Seth Rollins' opponent would have been Shane or Goldberg or anybody.
Well, and I think the other reason some fans are cheering it is not so much because of I know Vince doesn't believe on that quote unquote forbidden door, but even in a WrestleMania Access thing, Seth had mentioned that he would like to see, John Moxley come back through the door. There's so many people that could potentially that are in another promotion like AEW, MLW, all of that if they wanted to, Cody basically just showed them like, hey, it may not have worked out the first time, but you can always come back and try again.
And I feel like this, like for Cody being there, like I know we all for years, wished and hoped for this forbidden door or certain talents to kind of merge over and Vince to kind of open his eyes. So for us as fans, kind of telling Vince not gonna listen to us at all.
No.
But with Cody there, well, as to steal a phrase from CM Punk, Cody right now could be the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
And kind of talk to Vince like, hey, listen, this is a great idea. This is my pitch. This is what I think would work. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of opened the forbidden door for for like a one night only or one season, see how it will work. You know what I'm saying? I think Cody would actually be able to convince Vince, if that makes sense, to come in, to try something new. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we did have, a forbidden door like Cody.
I mean, at that point, if not to cut you off, Jay, but at that point, if Cody's going to try to convince Vince of that mindset, he might as well just wait until Vince is like on his bed or something, and just wait, because Vince is in the mindset right now that, of how I look at it, he's in that mindset like nothing's wrong. I'm still running a company that I've been running for for so many years. Like after he took it over from his dad. It's like he's still running the company the same way his dad did, and he just doesn't. To me, it's like Vince doesn't see what's right in front of him.
Right. Nah, I can see that happening though, because.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I can see that happening with what Maine was saying with that forbidden door, because rumor is, I don't know if it's true though, but it looks like they might start doing what they did with ECW with GCW, because I know. On Twitter, there's somebody that I follow. Stephanie McMahon bought GCW their own WrestleMania suite for the whole weekend. And she's
I saw
taking pictures with the wrestlers and stuff like that. So if that forbidden door does open, I could see them doing that with like GCW, like how they did with ECW with the extreme stuff, because that's what GCW is. Like.
And I see that too, but it would have to come, in my perspective, in my opinion, it would have to come when Vince is no longer like in control of WWE. Like if somebody else was to take control, like Stephanie or Hunter, I could see it then. But like I said, Vince has been so stuck.
But this is the thing though. And we spoke about this before though. Like, why do we need WWE to open the forbidden door?
Because everybody else is
everybody else is doing it. That's the thing.
It's like the NBA. It's like the NBA when LeBron made I wouldn't say LeBron did it. I'd say KG and them did it first. The super team thing. After LeBron, KG and them did it first, but when LeBron did it like caught a wave. KD started doing it, and then everybody wants to be super teams now. It's kind of like that.
Well, I'll give you another example using that same example. And so when David Stern, because remember at one point, NBA was strictly like, guys from American guys from college and stuff like that. When David Stern kind of opened it up to like international players like Dirk, Luka, and guys like that, if it wasn't for David Stern opening that up, we probably would never see, guys like I said, like Luka, Dirk, Giannis, those kind of guys.
Rudy Gobert, people like that.
Yeah, we would never see guys like that. It was always strictly like American, college guys and high school.
My question is this though. Is that why does WWE need to open the forbidden door when they are the top of the mountain? Like, again, the only time it's funny, the only time WWE ever mentions in history ever mentioned any other brand beside WWE was WCW, and that's because they was out of business. Because they brought them out of business. ECW because they brought them out of business. And New Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling has never really been in competition, direct competition. They always been in partnership because they're on two sides of the country. I mean, two sides of the world. They're two different sides.
But here's the thing, though, Side. They were taking shots at AEW.
The only other brand that they mentioned, and I don't even know why Vince did it because of AJ, was TNA. When he didn't even mention they mentioned TNA, but they showed clips of him in TNA. But why does he need to mention the other businesses when they're at the top of the mountain?
Because
they've taken subliminal shots. If you look at it from when AEW first started, not so much Vince himself, but the superstars were taking subliminal shots at AEW, and AEW was turning around and doing it right back. But this is my thing with Vince possibly needing to open up the forbidden door. Work perfect for the tag team division because we don't have that many tag teams. If you look at the tag teams on Raw and SmackDown, there's not that many tag teams.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If Vince gets out of his old mindset of this company, doesn't need the forbidden door. At this point, it kind of does because you are so. And I said this to Keys that last night that there is so many tag teams that on other promotions that could do a one night on WWE or something, and at least, or even not even just a one night, but like have that door open to where like, hey, if you want to come over here, you can, because we literally have the same tag teams on Raw and SmackDown going for the titles week in and week out.
Yeah,
it's like if you look at it. If it on SmackDown, if it's not the Usos who have the titles, it's like somebody else. It's like it's basically either the Usos or the New Day have the titles,
right?
And then over on Raw, you have RK Bro.
Okay, so hold on, Jay, hold on, real quick. Okay, I'm just going to drop a question, and y'all can. So this is the thing, right? The thing is that it's like the iPhone and the Samsung phone, right? If whatever Apple don't got, the Galaxy got. You either gonna get the Galaxy or the iPhone. But the more you bring, is bad example. Erase that. My point is this: the more that WWE brings in other wrestlers, like if they decide to open that door and they bring in other wrestlers, like they bring in somebody from AEW, that's gonna bring more attention to AEW. That's why collaborations happen, because collaborations say, hey, you invite your fan base to my platform and I invite my fan base to your platform, and that way we can share platforms, right? And if Vince McMahon's point is to be the top, right? If he does that, then he's inviting WWE, because there are people who never watched AEW who probably heard of it and be like, but they won't watch it. But once Vince opens that door, people who've never given AEW the time of day will now begin to. Why should Vince do that? And he's only going to increase his competition.
Okay, now I'm gonna answer your question. So remember how a couple months ago, it might have been a year ago, right? How we sat here on this same show and said, if AEW takes a lot of WWE stars that we've known and watched for years and we've understood them and actually liked them, if they go to AEW, how everybody's gonna start watching AEW, right?
Yeah.
So we watched Keith Lee, we watched Adam Cole on WWE, we watched Aleister Black, we watched Miro, all these guys that we watched and grown to love in WWE, now they're in AEW, and some of us are still not watching AEW, like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just can't watch it. And I'm not saying it's bad. I just can't really fully commit and get into it. So my point is, Vince doesn't need to do that to AEW, right? But you and Kayla happily married, right? So being that you guys are happily married, if you guys keep doing what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the marriage is going to be good and it's going to continue to be how it is. But at some point, you kind of want to spice things up and do something kind of different to try to, to excite the marriage or make the marriage a little better. And I feel like if Vince opens that forbidden door, and I'm saying he needs to do it all the time, but a one-time thing is going to get us more excited about, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, well, all right, Vince is trying something different. I love wrestling again. And vice versa. There's a lot of AEW guys who hate WWE because they feel like WWE is stale, they're stuck in their ways and stuff like that. But if Vince does that, then a lot of AEW fans are going to be like, oh, snap, okay.
But you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is that once he opens that forbidden door, right? Casual WWE fans that watch these AEW crossovers are going to be like, you know what? Let me just give it, because unconsciously they're going to be like, let me just give it a try. It's going to happen because it's connecting culture. Okay, I got a point. I got. How many times? Okay, you
went over there. Hold on, Jay. Went over there. When all these, they're basically AEW is full of WWE guys. If you think about it, AEW is full of
Jay, hold on a second. Jay, hold on. No, Jay, hold on. I got the best example ever. When me and you used to go to when they used to come to your crib, right? And at the time, like when we first started watching wrestling together, right? I was heavy in the WCW. You was heavy in the WWE. You wouldn't watch. You was not like you wasn't really in the WCW like that. You would watch. As a matter of fact, I think yeah. You would watch the first hour of WCW, and then you would turn to WWE.
Right.
Like, and then you'd be like, all right, and it'd be mostly WWE most of the time.
I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I did that, and again, I still feel this was the downfall to WCW because WCW was on from 8 to 10, right?
Yeah.
So from 8 to 9, I watched WCW. Once 9 o'clock hit, I'm watching all the Raw because I want to catch up on Raw and see what's going on Raw. Now, when Raw went off at 11, WCW came on right after. So WCW came on from 8 to 10 and then 10 to 12. So I watched the first hour of WCW. Then I watched the whole 2 hours of Raw. At 11 o'clock, now I'm going back to WCW to watch that extra hour that I didn't see prior. So I was able to watch everything. Now, if WCW wouldn't have had Nitro come on right behind, then maybe you still would have competition. But again, I'm like, I can watch both shows in one night because we didn't have DVR and stuff like that when WCW was around.
Yeah.
So either you had to watch it live or you're just going to miss it. You know what I'm saying? And once WCW went to play Nitro right after Nitro went off, it kind of made it convenient for everybody to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch WCW, then I'm gonna go watch the whole Raw Attitude Era, and then after Raw go, all right, I'm gonna finish WCW, and by 12 o'clock, I done watched two shows, and I caught up.
And it's kind of like AEW is doing that same thing with Rampage on Friday because it literally comes on right after SmackDown.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
It comes on right after SmackDown.
Oh, okay, yes. but they do. But however, Jay, conveniently, right? Which is true. You're right. Y'all both 100% right. But Jay, did you not find yourself still watching more WCW when we started watching wrestling together?
No, I watched
Jay.
Jay,
come on, son. Come on.
Because again, like I started getting into WCW. Like I watched it, but it was cool. Like when Macho came out and Hogan went over there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start watching it. But I was invested in it. But then when Hall and Nash kind of went over there, then it was more so, okay, this is a WWE invasion kind of thing. So now I'm interested in the NWO got big. So I was invested. Even when when Triple H was Jean-Paul Levesque in WCW. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was watching WCW way before that. I just, like I said, when WCW Nitro made it convenient to watch Raw and Nitro, it just was a no-brainer. But I still watched Raw on Monday, Thunder on Thursday, SmackDown on Friday. You know what I'm saying? So I still, everything. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't make a difference. But I mean, I watched them both. Don't get me wrong. I like those.
I mean, I know where Jay's coming from, because I used to legitimately do the same thing he did. You know, back in the day. You know, I grew up watching. Me personally, I have always grown up watching wrestling. I didn't care if it was WCW, ECW, you know, WWE, or even now with AEW. Like, I watch. I'm one of those where I watch it religiously. Like, I don't care if it's, you know, if it's like, if I watch 1 hour of AEW and then, you know, I go to YouTube and watch, you know, something I may have missed, you know, from Monday or whatever. I do the same. And I mean, I watch, and I'll tell you, because I usually host either a Monday Night Raw or a Dynamite, or, you know, a Rampage space on Twitter. So it's like, I watch all of it because I love professional wrestling. And it's nice to see, you know, some of the WWE guys. And where I'm going with on Jay's thing is, if Vince has to think, like I said, he's already lost so many big name stars to AEW. You lost Adam Cole. You lost Samoa Joe. You've lost now William Regal, John Moxley, Jericho. The list goes on, even Swerve and Keith Lee. You've lost so many big people, and now your roster on Monday and Friday is so limited that you have the same people going after the belt week in and week out. It's like every pay-per-view, it's like, it's Roman versus this person. We've already seen that. It's the Usos versus this team. We've already seen that. It's like, I was telling in a space I did last night, I was telling people, like, I would like to see them split up tag teams and reform new ones, or even create new ones. And I understand that some tag teams have to have chemistry, but not always. I mean, look at what they did to RKO, or look at what they did to RK Bro. They put Riddle and Randy together and said, make it work. And look at where we're at.
All right, Kayla, I got a mic drop situation right here. All right, sorry. Here's my point. I'm about to drop the mic on you right now.
Okay.
So let's go back to WrestleMania, right?
Okay.
So Seth is in the ring. Seth is waiting for his opponent, right? So the lights go out, the pyro goes off, whatever like that, right? So you hear the first gong. So then you hear the promo, wrestling has more than one royal family. The crowd went crazy. They already knew who it was. No, you know what I'm saying? So without Cody even being introduced, or his name coming up, nothing. The crowd already knew who it was when they said wrestling has more than one royal. The crowd already knew who it was, and they started singing this song immediately. You know what I'm saying? This is WrestleMania,
right?
So, and you know what I'm saying? So fans watch both. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact, a lot of fans already watch both. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, so they went crazy like that, right? Imagine, right? You got the crowd goes silent, and then Jericho's Judas theme hits. Do you really think that every fan in WWE at a WWE event is not going to sing that song?
Well, them singing the song, still, I mean, so is your point that that if a AEW star goes to WWE, that it's not going to bring more fans to AEW, but it's just going to bring more notoriety to WWE? Is that the point?
No, because everybody watches. A lot of people watch AEW already. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people watch both already. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just more loyal to WWE or more loyal to AEW, but a lot of fans watch both. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's not going to change anything. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got guys from AEW come over or vice versa, it's not going to change people's perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's just now you have opportunity to create dream matches or matches that we all wanted to see, and it's going to have a lot of buzz and excitement for that one moment. But at the same time, you can go back to how it was, and people are going to be like, all right, back to the regular schedule program. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be like, oh, well, dad, I ain't know this person was AEW. You know what? I'm not going to watch WWE. I'm going to start watching AEW now. No, I mean, if you don't watch AEW now, you're probably not going to watch it, you know what I'm saying, after. You'll probably watch a lot of WWE more because you're like, okay, I want to see this match, or I want to see these people compete. But I don't think a lot of WWE fans are going to start migrating to AEW just because a lot of AEW stars, are having.
I mean, Jay, and another person that just popped into my mind that went from WWE to AEW, and look at the reaction he got. Adam Cole.
Absolutely.
For people who never saw Adam Cole in Ring of Honor or in WWE, the minute he comes out, everybody's behind. Like the first night he debuted, everybody went nuts. Now, of course, his music was different, whatever else. But as soon as he got up on that apron and, a certain part of that song, and he went boom, and then he gets into the ring and does the whole Adam Cole thing, everybody, regardless if you watched NXT or not, or even Ring of Honor, knew who Adam Cole was.
Even American Dragon. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So my thing is this, is that it works both ways. It works both ways because, again, when fans look at Cody, right, they're gonna it's still in some capacity, in some way, going to take some WWE fans over to AEW, because the curiosity would be how is AEW going to suffice without Cody, even though they're not going to die out or nothing like that, but it's just watching how it grows without Cody, and it's something that Cody was a part of starting.
Well, yeah.
And then, so it could work twofold. Like it's a double, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a
double-edged sword. Yeah.
Yes, double-edged sword. So.
But the other thing is that if you look at, like, for me, like I said, I watch AEW. Mm-hmm. Now I can see how, like a star like Adam Cole, the Red Dragon, Daniel Bryan, people from AEW or from WWE that have come over. Mm-hmm. Okay, their whole like character in a way has changed because they're not tamed like they were in WWE. Like John Moxley literally will always and forever be a lunatic fringe. Mm-hmm. But he's now been able to not be on a leash and do what he wants. Like he's able to do what he wants.
So here's the question, because recently there was an article that was put out. I'll just go into it before we end off. There was an article that was put out recently concerning Cody Rhodes' departure from AEW, and he says that he believes that more AEW stars will follow in his direction and come over to WWE. Now, that definitely puts, because Cody going over to WWE definitely changes things in AEW. It changes things for how Tony Khan is going to look at the superstars, because again, you have a person like John Moxley who left WWE because of creative differences and went over to AEW, that in some way, somehow, some capacity, 2 years, 3 years, who knows when from now, he's going to go back. John is going back.
Right. Yeah. And Cody even said, a lot of AEW guys are going to come to him and say, hey, how is it over there? And he said he's going to be completely honest. He said for some guys, it's going to be the perfect opportunity. It would be great for them. But in some guys, it's just not the move for them. He said, so when he asks him, he'll tell him like, okay, well, I don't think this is for you. I think, AEW is great. I think if you want to progress and further your career, that's where you need to stay. But in some guys, if he feels like, I think you'll thrive and I think you'll, flourish over here, I think he'll tell them, like, for instance, MJF, guys like, their contract is up. I know for a fact MJF is he's going to talk a lot to Cody, like, yo, what do you think I should do? What do you think to make that move? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other, stars, even, honestly, even Miro to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Miro was better how he got released, stuff like that. But I think, if he gets frustrated at AEW and stuff like that, he'll talk to Cody. And only thing Cody has to do is say, it's a little different than before. They more creative. Look at my character. You know what I'm saying? And they're seeing Cody's character, how he kept his music, how he kept everything. Even Mickie James, when she came to the Royal Rumble, she said, all right, I'm coming I'll be in your Rumble with you, but I'm keeping my Impact theme song, and I'm coming out with Impact the Knockout Women's Champion.
Yeah.
And she did that. And Vince has never allowed anybody to bring up the championship on the show.
That's not true.
And to piggyback off of what Jay was just saying, people.
Yeah, that's not true.
Taz brought the easy W. He fought Triple H when Triple H was world champion on a Monday Night Raw. Was
was
and
it
Booker T and Booker T.
Right,
well,
but we're
well,
but
first
we're
off,
more talking about in an era of like the wrestling we all grew up on.
well,
Yeah,
well,
we've seen it, but for this newer generation, and we have to think, we're all on this podcast talking to not only the older generation but the newer generation that's coming into this. The newer generation has not seen something like this before. They've seen maybe recaps of old generations from their parents, but
right.
they're now getting to witness a whole new generation to where they're going to then end up, if they see something like, a Cody Rhodes, for example, coming over, and Cody maybe being the voice of reasoning, not only to Vince, but to some of the superstars, like Jay was saying, that has been released by WWE in a couple of 2, 3, 4 years, may want to come back. All they have to do is ask Cody, like, hey, how's it going over there? How you being treated over there? Is things, changing? Literally, me personally, I look at Cody as, even though the quote unquote forbidden door isn't open and supposedly doesn't exist in Vince's mind, to us fans, we see that it's open, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have allowed Cody Rhodes to come back.
Absolutely. And even Undertaker said,
allowed him.
Right, and even to your point, Kayla, Undertaker said in his speech, he said, when he debuted, a lot of fans wasn't even born. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Facts.
So, you know what I'm saying? So
a lot of wrestlers on that main roster wasn't even born.
Kayla's point, like, a lot of superstars, I mean, a lot of people, like I said, they really didn't see what we saw as, being that we're older. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people started getting into wrestling because, a lot of people, I guess, look back and take it at Hogan, Warrior, and guys like that. But a lot of, regular fans that or the younger generation, they started getting into wrestling with Cena. You know what I'm saying? Cena was there, Hogan, and that's when they was like, oh, okay, this guy is rapping, stuff like that. So they started following from that point. You know what I'm saying? Now for us, we've seen way before Cena. You know what I'm saying? So, so again, so stuff like that is like, oh, okay, oh, this is wrestling, and then even a lot of older people, a lot of older people, when you watch wrestling, people who don't watch wrestling now, 95% of them will sit here and say they stopped watching wrestling after Stone Cold and The Rock.
A lot of people said that.
Yeah, and I mean, for I'll be honest and tell a story. Like my husband, Micah, he watches WWE with me, but after it started to becoming so predictable and whatnot, he got tired of it. I mean, he watches AEW, and we watched when AEW first debuted, and he's like, I like this better than WWE, even though some of the guys from WWE went over. But but AEW is allowing these people to be unscripted, be themselves, and just have fun with it. Where it's like, you can see certain superstars on WWE now where their image, their gimmick is just stale. Perfect example, the Tribal Chief.
You think it's stale?
Yeah.
Hold on. Not so I'm a Roman fan, but like this Tribal Chief thing, it's starting to. It was okay at first, but now it's starting to just be
redundant.
And it's like it's stale, because it's like every match that he's in, when it's for the title, he's winning. Like, he's not dropping it to anybody or whatever. It's just it's becoming redundant, and it's just like I think what really got me the most is it's like and I understand he's playing a heel character, but it's like every time he comes out there, he goes, whatever city they're in, acknowledge me. And it's like, I don't,
him.
Right, which I get, which I get, but I look at the promo that made me really look at Roman different was when he cut the Roman gimmick and was talking as himself when he had to tell the universe that he was going away due to his leukemia coming back. It's like that is kind of the Roman that I still see.
Well, let's have this conversation. Hold on, Jay, real quick. Let's have this conversation before we end up the live, because we're past the hour mark real quick. And I spoke about this last live. And I was just talking briefly about before Jay when me and Jay was talking or whatever. We spoke about some other things, but I touched on Roman Reigns real quick. in the last live, and I was talking about his reign, and I was just talking about like I like Roman, right? And let's just talk about Roman's reign, period, right? Before we end the live, I said I like Roman's reign as champion, and I think he suffices. And that's what I was saying to Jay, like I think he suffices for the good that we don't have. But if we did have better, if he was compared to a CM Punk of his era, if he's compared to like again, like when we see him against a Cody, you know what I'm saying? Like when we see, like again, if like even if Kevin Owens or Finn Balor or even certain other performers had the actual opportunity to really get that limelight, that and that attention that Roman is getting, that we would see a difference. Like we would really see a difference. And the funny thing about it is even against John Cena, like I hate John Cena, but when John Cena came back and did that little feud with Roman and he cut that promo, that 1, 2, 3 promo, I was like magic. I was like, yo, this is the reason why John was getting paid what he was getting paid, because what he can do on the fly. He did more. He did, $100 worth of damage and $10 worth of good. I'm just saying that that's exactly what he did. The fact of the matter is that at any given time he can do $100 worth of good.
So specify. Are you talking about when they were kind of like trying to pass the torch when Cena kind of dominated Roman in those promos? The first when Roman was still Shield Roman, or when he came back recently when they had the Tribal Chief Cena feud?
You're talking about Tribal Chief, right?
Tribal Chief.
That Tribal Chief, yeah.
Right, but you see, like you said, how Cena kind of held his own. Like they were all going back and forth when Roman was like, yeah, same old Cena, same wristband, same shirt, da da da. And then he made the comment of, do you want missionary every night? And then Cena came back to
No, it was cool. Like what Roman said was cool, but I guarantee you go when I watched that promo, I was like, yeah, it was funny. It was like, all right, Roman, yeah, cool. But at the end of that promo, John Cena had the crowd eating out the palm of his hands.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When The Rock cut a promo, the crowd was eating out the palm of his hands. When Austin does a promo, crowd is eating out the palm of his hands. When Triple H does a promo,
getting a stunner.
I'm sorry?
Or getting a stunner.
Oh, right. You're getting a stunner. When Triple H cut the promo, whether you liked him or you hated him, you were eating out the palm of this guy's hand. Same thing with The Rock, same thing with Austin, same thing. These guys had that magic. So my point is, and y'all can say what y'all, my point, I just want to say this, and then is that Roman is good, but when I look at my top 5 or look at my top 10, like wrestlers, before I would say this, because before I said I wouldn't consider my top 10, but I would say this, before I start to consider him part of my top 10, because I already have my top 5, but before I consider him, there's other people that I think of before him, even though he's one of my favorites. But it's just that, again, Roman does well for what we need, because that's the only person that Vince is really going to invest that much into.
Yeah,
I think Roman would be better. Me personally, like the whole bloodline thing, I get it, it works, whatever. My thing though is just like, can you please get rid of the walrus?
No, you can't get rid of the mouthpiece. That's the mouthpiece.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Why is that?
You can't get rid of him.
Roman can cut a promo on his own. He doesn't need Paul Heyman there 24/7. That's what I'm saying. Like,
somebody got to hold all them titles.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Look, you got your look, and he's got his damn cousins to do that. Okay, he's got Jimmy
but they about
and Jay
to get 2 more. They about to get 2 more.
Who cares? So. They got enough. Look, first off, they don't even wear the tag titles around their waist, anyways. And if they have to, just start wearing belts around your waist or something. I don't know.
Well, they're gonna wear the new ones. When they get the new ones, they're gonna definitely wear those.
I'm just like, it's just for me. It's like I said, I look at, because going back to when Roman had cut that, that dropped the Roman act for just that one segment and was talking as himself. It's like I look at him with a respect, but this Roman, it's just kind of like, okay, are you done talking yet? You know, like can I turn the TV off now?
But it's funny when to go back to that promo, like I talk about it all the time. So when he comes out, that's when the fans couldn't stand him. So he comes out, the fans is going crazy. Boo, his hit music hits, the crowd is booing him in the building. He's like, hey, my name is Joe, and I've been diagnosed with leukemia. They
Because and the thing is like that when that Raw happened, I think it was, I want to say maybe a couple weeks or a few weeks after I had been to the Raw in Seattle. And so the at that time it was still Roman in the Shield. It was still Shield Roman. Right. But when I saw that promo, I was just like, okay, this is a different Roman that, you know, he's not being Roman Reigns, he's being Joe and speaking to the fans as a normal person, which is not a lot that we see nowadays in WWE. We don't see guys who are, you know, head honcho, you know, all up there, actually just for one moment, if it's just for a brief second, just drop the gimmick and just go off, not really off script, but just drop the gimmick and go, look, this is what I'm going through, X, Y, and Z, or hey, I have to step away because of this, that, and the third. It's like we don't see that. And I think if more fans in a way saw something like that, they would get behind not so much the character, but the person playing the character.
Well, listen, that stuff don't work though, because at the end of the day, he still got booed when he came back from cancer.
Right. Well, no,
they booed a man who had cancer.
But I also and right now, you know what I'm saying, for him to, so all right, Roman comes out, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the top heels right now. We don't want to hear Roman come out like, hey, my name is Joe.
Savage.
Well, no.
How my daughter at home, like, you know, nobody wants to hear.
Nobody wants to hear that.
You know what I'm saying, right? So, like, even when
I'm a little teapot, short and spout.
Yeah, I mean now it wouldn't work.
Right, that's what I said. Even when Mustafa Ali was the head of Retribution,
it would never work.
He was getting a lot of backlash because he was a lot on his Instagram. He was showing pictures of him playing with his family, his daughter, and they're like, "Yo, you're a heel. We don't want to." You know, say, "Why are you posting stuff like that?" And he's like, I'm, I gotta show my family." But as a heel, you know what I'm saying, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like Seth Rollins is a heel, but I don't think he's posted, you know, his daughter or anything like that. Now Becky, she posted, of course, but you know, Seth as a heel, when you're in a heel, you have to, unfortunately with Vince, you have to live by that character every day. You know what I'm saying? So it has to make sense. So for Roman to come out and, you know, talk about, you know, be a real life Roman or have us in touch with the real Roman, we're gonna be like, yo, shut up. You're a heel. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
exactly.
And I mean sometimes though it does work, because, you know, another example of a heel, The Miz. Miz is the biggest heel in WWE, but if you look at his Instagram, it's separate from, like, not so much even from his Instagram, but like if you watch Miz and Maurice, the Miz that you see on TV is not the same Miz outside of the ring. It's like it's two different people. Like, you're seeing the family man Miz, but then in the ring, you're seeing this Miz that you want to just slap in the face.
Right.
Me personally, I just want to slap Miz in the face because I've never liked him since he was on The Real World.
Right.
That's just me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, but if there was never a Miz and Maurice show, I don't think Miz would actually mention his daughters or anything like that on, you know, during his promo. He would be like, okay, what are you talking about? But the fact that, you know, he does have Miz and Maurice, he has that platform to do so. Now, if Roman had a spinoff show and stuff like that, for another prime example, when Total Divas came out, you know, and like everybody watched Total Divas and stuff like that. So when AJ Lee cut her promo saying, you know, I don't need a TV show to be acknowledged, or I don't need, you know, the glitzy glam of that. I'm a professional wrestler. I got here on my own through hard work.
Yeah.
It makes sense because, you know, we watched the show and we're like, yo, AJ, you're right. AJ isn't on the show. Okay, that's crazy. So we kind of related to her when she cut that promo. So if Roman had a spinoff show and, you know, with his daughters, and now he started bringing that to, okay, it will make sense. But without that show or without that outlet, if Roman comes talking about his daughters and stuff like that, we'll be like, okay, like
exactly.
talking about Roman.
I mean, we're all going to have difference of opinions on this, which is fine.
Which is great. Which is the beauty of the conversation.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So our time is up. We thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Guys, join us as we go live every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. every Sunday at 12 p.m. where we talk wrestling. You guys can join us. If you guys are catching us live on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and join us as we go live. Join the conversation. We want to hear from the wrestling universe what you guys think. AEW, even if you're a TNA Impact fan, doesn't matter what fan you are, New Japan Pro wrestling fan, we want to hear your comments. We want to know what your thoughts are. If you are watching us on Facebook, please drop a comment in the comment section below. Share, and hit that reminder bell and that reminder button for when the live is posted, and you will get that reminder notification for when we go live. Again, this is us signing off. I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your co-host, the American Nightmare, Jay Blackman.
And the beauty, Hollywood K. And whatever Ant's doing.
In the big bed! Booty Daddy! And we will see you guys later.
Hey, reminder, Ant, don't take any more people to Space Mountain.
And we will see you guys later. Peace.